Hello, everybody, and good evening. Thank you for coming along to my webinar tonight. I'm sure we're going to have a great time together. So before we get started, let's just check. Can you all hear me? If someone could just write, we've got the chat box there on the right. You can see that on the right-hand side of your screen. So if someone could just type in there that you can hear me, that would be great. Thank you. Thank you for that. Okay. So I'm Pauline Delaney, and tonight we are here to talk about the Time Secrets Revealed, 5 steps for busy mums to get 10 hours extra per week. And this is a topic that's very close to my heart. So who is this webinar for? Who should be here? This webinar is for you if you are a busy working mum, if you are time poor, like so many of us are nowadays. If you often find that at the end of the day, you've got no more energy left, you're just exhausted, this webinar's for you. If you find that you're feeling stressed and disorganized, everything's up in the air, you don't know which way is up and which way is down, this webinar's for you. And if you wish you had more hours in each day, if you feel like your life is chaotic and out of control, this is the place you should be. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. So as I said, I'm Pauline Delaney, and I am actually an optometrist. So I test people's eyes. I've spent the last 25 years doing that. And I work part-time, and I have my own business. So I have that at home. And I have 4 children aged between 10 and 20. So I have 1 girl and I have 3 boys. So my 2 eldest boys and my eldest boy, who's 20, he's out in the big wide world working. I have 2 in high school, and then I have 1 who's still in primary school. So quite a varied range there of different children in my household. And I have always been interested in health, in fitness, weight loss, time management. They've always been things that have really resonated with me. So I found that I was very stressed. I was disorganized. I was unbalanced in my life. And I really found that I was struggling with the day-to-day things that needed to be done. I was here, I was there, I didn't know what was happening. And I really had a problem getting things organized. So I was looking for direction. I was always searching for something that I could do from home so that I wasn't having to go out to work all the time. And over the years, I tried many different businesses. One of the first ones that my husband and I invested our time and energy and money in was Amway. And I'm sure that there are a lot of other people out there who've done this as well. Amway has a bad rap, but it's a very good company. They have fantastic products. But they are quite pushy, and they have the reputation of people having to approach their family and friends and really be very, very pushy. And that was something that I didn't feel comfortable with. I also have worked with another multi-level marketing company called 4Life. And 4Life have fantastic products as well, which are helping the immune system. Lots of different bits and pieces they have, and fantastic products as well. That was more of an online business that I did, which I did enjoy for a while, but it just wasn't getting me anywhere. And Melaleuca, you may have heard of Melaleuca. That's another company, another multi-level marketing company that I have been involved in, and they have products based on tea tree oil, and I am still a customer there. I'm not a distributor, but I still purchase their products because they are fantastic products. Cleaning products, personal care products like shampoo, conditioner. What else have they got? They've got the dishwashing stuff, the laundry stuff, all that sort of stuff. They're fantastic products. But as a business, it just wasn't right for me. And another one that I tried was Intimo, which is Party Plan. So that's where you go out to usually women's houses because it's underwear, bras and knickers and things like that. Go out and do parties, which was fun. sell the bras, fit people with the bras in the bedroom, make some money that way, but quite labour intensive, as in I had to go out at night. Maybe wasn't what I really wanted to do with my life, even though I did enjoy meeting people. But that just fell by the wayside as well. And again, fantastic products. I have a drawer full of bras by Intimo. I have camis in my closet, camisoles. Fantastic products, and I was able to get them at a discount, so that always helped too. And my husband and I also have dabbled in property investment. So I particularly have always been entrepreneurial, looking for something that I wanted to do, trying to find what fitted with my life, with my lifestyle, and what would make me happy and what I was passionate about. So finally, I have found my calling. As I said to you before, I've always been passionate about health, fitness, nutrition, and particularly time management too, which is a big thing with poor busy mums. And over the years, I've invested in many different health, fitness, and weight loss programs. So I have so many ebooks. I have recipes. I have programs. I have fitness programs. I have diets, I have mindset programs, and I have spent a lot of time reading these, studying these, implementing these into my life, getting the best bits from the different ones that suited what I wanted from them, as in maybe losing weight, maybe toning up, maybe having the best type of nutrition for my family, and having simple recipes that I could call on and produce in a few minutes, and also condensed forms of exercise training, so that I wasn't spending hours and hours at the gym. I could do these short little bursts of exercise. So these have been something that I have spent, as I said, a lot of time investing my money, investing my time and my energy in over the years, and I have enjoyed doing that. So I have a lot of information and I have a lot of expertise in these areas. So I found that through all this research, through the way things were evolving in my family, in my household, I realised that I was keen to help busy mums find their life balance and get back in control of their lives, because this was something that I had to find myself. I had been, as I said, disorganised, stressed, out of balance, and I really wanted to help other women, other busy mums, get to where I now have found myself, where I have that control, I'm happy, I'm organised, and things are running really smoothly. So I really want to help women to deal with the stresses, the uncertainty and the craziness of their busy life, come out on top and win. And as I have claimed in this title of this webinar, I'm going to help you find 10 hours per week, get that time back for you. So let's get started. Time Secrets revealed the 5 steps for busy mums to get 10 hours extra per week. What are the steps? Step number 1 is to set your goals and prioritise. And we'll go into these steps in detail in a moment. I'll just go through the 5 of them first. Step number 2 is to create a schedule. Step number 3 is to cluster, and we'll go into what that means a little bit later. Number 4 is to pre-prepare, and this is a big one. This is something I'm very, very keen on. And number 5 is a strange one, is to learn how to say no. And I know that, as I said, all of you with kids out there, with the little kids, they are very good at saying no. So you have to learn to say no as well, but maybe in a different way to the way that they say it. And this is a really important concept, something that I have been exposed to recently, something that I probably hadn't even thought about before, but something that is just a brilliant concept to think about. Time is limited, money is unlimited. Now, this may sound strange to you, but if you really think about that, everyone has 24 hours a day. No one is given any more than that. We all have the exact same amount of hours in our day, and we can choose what we want to do with those hours. Maybe we want to sleep. Maybe we want to spend our days sitting in front of the TV or just doing nothing or watching Xbox, like some of my kids do, that sort of thing. Or we can spend our time with our children, interacting with them, going to the park, taking them places, helping them learn, doing really constructive, energetic things with them. Or we can even be building a business. We can be going out to work or working for ourselves and using that time to create a future for ourselves that will be ongoing. Money is unlimited. Even though you may feel that you don't have enough of it, there is always more. There's so much out there if you can let yourself be open to the concept of it coming towards you, a concept of abundance. As I said, time is limited. There's no way you can get any more time. You can maybe use your time better, the time that you have, and that's what I'm here to teach you tonight. But you can't create any more extra hours in the day. So that is something that's very precious, and you really need to realize that this is precious. Your time commodity is something that really needs to be protected and used very wisely. Money, you can always get more money. Maybe you can't see how you can do it at the moment, but there are ways out there to get money, and there is an abundance of money in the world. It's full of money. You've just got to know where to look for it. So keep that concept in mind, and really I'd encourage you to have a pen and paper here and just to write some of these things down, and this is one I would really encourage you to write down. So let's move on to our first step. So step number 1 is to set your goals and prioritize. Have a think about your definition of a perfect life. Would you like to spend it all day at work? I'm sure not many people would say that that's their perfect life, although there are workaholics out there that they would be happy with that. Would you like to spend it with your family? Would you like to have time for yourself and time for your family? Would you like to have a great balance between maybe your own business that you're passionate about, that you love working in, that you really get a sense of fulfillment and achievement from, and balance that with spending time with your family, going on holidays, being able to go for a weekend away, maybe in the school holidays go overseas because you've got the means and the time to do so. Maybe even after this webinar, you may want to sit down and just think about what your perfect life would be, what your perfect day would be, and then leading into your perfect life. And just see how different this is to how your life is now. And whether you do need to make changes, or maybe you're already living your perfect life. That's fine. But most people will find a few little things that they would like to tweak. So if you can become aware of those, you know what you're working towards then. So what you need to do is decide what is the most important to you. As I said to you before, time is limited. So you only have a certain amount of time. So you need to use that wisely and decide, do I really want to go to dinner with this person? Maybe it's something fun. Maybe it's a chore because it's a business dinner, something like that. And make decisions based on your priorities and the things that really matter to you. If cleaning your house is really, really important and you want it to be perfect all the time, then do that. Otherwise, spend the time on going to the park with the kids, hanging out, riding bikes, doing things like that. And prioritize the things that you want to do against the things that you have to do, and just try and get a really good balance there. As I said before about the cleaning, this is something that's really big with women, with mothers particularly. I know that I feel if someone comes into my house, they're going to be looking around, and if it's messy, if there's dirt, if there's things everywhere, if it's just a pigsty, which it's not usually that bad, they're going to be judging me. That's how they're saying, oh, this is the lady of the house. This is how she keeps her household. Oh dear, she's pretty messy, isn't she? And I used to feel that that was a judgment on me, so I had to have my house looking perfect. Making your house perfect takes a lot of work though. So decide what really matters to you, and if it is really, really, really important to do something like have your house perfectly clean, then spend your time doing that. But if there are other things you would rather be doing, then just have a level that you'd be satisfied with. And maybe that's not perfection. Have that as your standard, lower standards, and instead spend the time that you would have been scouring the bathroom, cleaning the toilets, washing the dishes, doing the ironing. Spend that on something else that really is important to you. So, as I said, be prepared to lower your standards. I'm not expecting you to live in a pigsty, but you don't have to have everything absolutely perfect. So make decisions about what you can live with. Can you maybe have the bathroom nice and tidy, but maybe sweep the floor once a week rather than every day? Do the dishes at the end of the day, but not be fanatical about having a clean sink for every second that you're home during the day. It really depends on what you can let go, and I really would encourage you to let go a little bit, because if you think about it, who's really looking at the house, for example? Who's going to be judging you when you're in the house with your family? Are they going to say, oh, look, mum hasn't cleaned those dishes. Oh, that's disgusting. They're not even going to notice. The only one that's going to notice probably is you. So let's move on to step number 2, and this is to create a schedule. Now, a schedule can have various connotations, and for you, you need to decide yourself how detailed or how loose it is. You may want to write down every single bit, every single chore that you do during the day. You may want to write down every single appointment, which of course I would encourage you to do. Or you may just write something, like laundry, for example, instead of writing washing, hanging the washing on the line, ironing, folding, all that sort of stuff. See if you can fit in your appointments, your cleaning, the different things you want to do for yourself, because you do need some time for yourself as well. Maybe it's creative time, maybe it's sitting down and reading a book. But if you've got a schedule, you can look at that and you can not feel guilty about doing these things because it's in your schedule. I would encourage you to have a morning schedule for the family. Mornings can be very hectic, and it's usually, in our household particularly, it's the time where everybody is together trying to do things at the one time, and you usually have deadlines. You've got to be out of the house at a certain time, and before you get out of the house you have to have maybe had showers, brushed teeth, had breakfast, cleaned the room, cleaned up the mess from breakfast. Maybe you've got a little baby, has to be fed. All those things have got to be fitted in there. I would definitely suggest that if you have a combination of older children and younger children, to get the older ones to help the younger ones and relieve the pressure on you, and give them some responsibility. Maybe if they're 5 or 6 or so, they can have some pushes from mum, but you shouldn't be on them the whole time. You need to give them some independence, and they need to be able to do things for themselves to the level of the age that they are. So they could get their own breakfast. They could get their own lunch. My younger son, who is 10, has been getting his own lunch probably since about maybe grade 1. He doesn't have a very elaborate lunch, but that's what he wants. Make lunch for everybody in the family. I would be there for hours. So if you can organise, write down the different tasks that need to be done in the morning, the things that are non-negotiable, maybe put them up on the fridge, and then work out the best way for the kids to accomplish those tasks, the best order to do them in, who's going to do this first, who's going to use the bathroom first, all that sort of stuff. I think that's really important. And I would definitely encourage you to get a diary. This is my diary here, my 2014 diary. Color coded. If you've got it color coded, if you have a different, you can either use different colored pens maybe for different types of appointments or entries in your diary. Say an appointment, a medical appointment could be one color, a business appointment could be something else. Exercise can go in there, social engagements, they can all be different colors, or you can just use a different highlighter to go over your different entries there. And that means you can see at a glance what sort of a makeup there is of your day or of your week or of your month. You know, are there too many business appointments? Are there too many social engagements? Do you need to cut back a bit because you're a social butterfly? It just enables you to have a look at a glance and just see where your energy is going and judge whether it's going in the right direction or whether maybe you need to either cut back on something or increase the time you've got for something else. And also, make sure that when you add in another appointment, have a look in your diary first before you add it in and just see what your day looks like. Is it really the best day to add in a dental appointment, or have you already got the doctor, the school principals got a meeting with you, you've got a big day at work, a presentation? Have a look in your diary before you add in another appointment. And if you schedule things like exercise and me time, then they're in your diary, they're an appointment. You don't have to feel guilty because you've already decided this is when I'm going to do this. I haven't taken time out for myself, shock horror, the mother having time for herself. You have scheduled it in there as an appointment and it has been accounted for. You have worked out, maybe you're going out for dinner with the girls. You've already got a babysitter. You've got your husband maybe on standby to cook dinner. So if you can do that, you shouldn't be feeling guilty. And exercise particularly, as women get busier and busier and have the children with all the different activities they have and being super mum, exercise tends to fall by the wayside, and it shouldn't. You can exercise as simply as just going for a walk around the block or a run if you're really keen. You can do a 15-minute workout at home. Just do some squats, maybe a plank, some push-ups, things like that. They don't take any time at all. You can do them in 5-minute bursts, or you can go to the gym for a full-on 45, 60-minute workout or a pump class or a step class or something like that. But if it's in your schedule, if you've written it down there, that's it. It's non-negotiable and you have planned ahead, and you should not feel guilty for doing that. Let's move on to step number 3, and this is clustering. So clustering like activities, meaning similar things, will help streamline your efficiency. And this is really important. So what you can do is set aside blocks of time and be really strict about working within those blocks. Now, this can be applied in all different areas of your life. At work, if you have, maybe you've got to make some phone calls, you set aside maybe a half an hour, 15 minutes, an hour, whatever it's going to take, and you do your phone calls. Bang, 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 bang. They're done. Then you move on to something else. Maybe you can deal with your emails for 15 minutes. Maybe you have to see clients. Cluster them all together and you will be much, much more efficient because you're going to be in the zone. Instead of answering the email, I'll call this one next. What will I do next? Oh, maybe I'll fill in this form. I'll go see my boss. That's right. She wanted to see me in the office. And of course, this can apply as well at home. So you can be very efficient with your cleaning, for example. You can put aside, you would be amazed at what you can do in 15 minutes. If you want to be cleaning and not spending all day doing so, you can either maybe have a 15-minute block where you go and you clean the bathrooms and you do as much as you can in that 15 minutes because you know that that's all you have. You have 15 minutes, then you're going to stop and you'll be much more efficient and energetic and get it over and done within that time. Maybe you're going to do some ironing and you may be like me and you hate ironing and you have a time. You might have a huge basket of ironing, but if you set aside maybe 15 minutes and you do 15 minutes of ironing and then you're done for that, you know, there might still be ironing left over, but you know that you've done some of it You can go and do something else now. If you run your own business from home, this is something really, really important, because so many people have that blurred line between family and work. When it's your own business, it just seems to run together, and it's really hard to switch off from either. And both directions are going to suffer if that's the case. So you can't really involve yourself in either. So, but if you set aside blocks, if you say, right, Mum is going to be in here for an hour, I've got to develop this program, I've got to be creative about this, or maybe I'm going to answer all my emails, or I'm going to do my admin for this time, and then we will go to the park. Then I will come and read the book with you. Then we will do your homework, but you get as much of it done before I come and help you. So making that distinction where you have the different blocks, you can just concentrate, and you know that you're going to do something for a short amount of time. It's not going to be for too long, and you can really just throw everything into that time. And you will be amazed at how efficient you will be. So some of the tasks you can cluster include things like admin, as I mentioned, phone calls, and cleaning. Now, phone calls is a good one. As I said, I mentioned maybe if you go out to work, or if you have your own business where you have to call people, or even if you're a mum who's at home and you're organising a social get-together, or maybe you're organising the roster for the carpool or something like that. If you can set aside a certain amount of time, because a lot of people dread phone calls. You set aside, say, half an hour. You have your list of people you're going to call, and you just call them one after the other. You're going to be, as I said, in the zone. You're going to know what to say. You might dread the first one, but the second one will be easier. The third one will be easier. The fourth one will be even easier too, still. So that is really a fantastic way to deal with tasks that you're maybe not that keen on doing, but that need to be done, rather than putting them off and dreading them. A really important statistic to know is that it takes between 7 and 20 minutes to get back on track after an interruption. So if you are, whether maybe, as I said, working from home, someone knocks on the door, maybe comes in for a little chat, you get back into your office, get started again. Now, where was I? I was doing this, and then I was doing that, and it's going to take you 7 to 20 minutes each time you have an interruption to get back to where you were before. Now, if that happens 3, 4, 5 times a day, imagine how much time and productivity you're going to be losing. If you cluster your tasks together and make those time blocks quite tight, and make it so that you're not going to, unless there's an emergency, of course, if you're not going to veer off that, okay? And then you're going to get things done so much more efficiently. Moving on to number 4, which is pre-prepare. Now, this is a great word for mums to have in their vocabulary. And the top of the list, which is something I am very passionate about, is menu planning. So many women go out to work, come home, maybe at 6 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock, get everything sorted, and suddenly think, oh, whoops, what are we going to have for dinner? What's in the cupboard? There's nothing there. Oh no, what are we going to have? I can't think of anything. And then they either throw together something and they're stressed. They've got the kids, I'm hungry, Mum, what are we going to eat? When are we going to have dinner? They're at her the whole time, and you've got to make do with whatever's in the pantry. You've got to be constantly thinking, what the heck can I cook? Or you're going to give in and go out and get your takeaway, which is going to cost you a lot of money and is not the healthiest thing to serve up for your kids. Occasionally it's okay, but not every day. Instead of this, you should plan ahead. So what I do is on a Sunday, I will sit down with my diary. Maybe this will take me 15 minutes or so. I'll sit down with my diary and I'll have a look during the week and see what appointments I have. I'll see what the kids have after school. Maybe I'm going out teacher meeting. Maybe the kids have got gymnastics. Maybe I'm going to be working today, and I know that I'm going to have a very short amount of time to when I get home, from when I get home to when we're going to have dinner. So I will plan my meals and I will write them up on, I have a blackboard on the back of my pantry door with each day written there, and I will write up what we're going to be having for dinner each night. So then the kids also like this because they can look at it and go, oh, great, spaghetti bolognese, I love that. We're having that on Tuesday. Well, I'll make sure I'm home. And I know that I will plan things that maybe take that little bit longer to cook. I will cook on the weekend. I'll make 3 or 4 things at a time. That I've got them in the freezer there just to pull out and produce, just throw them in the microwave and they're ready. If I have a fairly quiet day, I'll have time to do something maybe a bit more elaborate, like a roast or something like that. If I know what's happening, I can plan ahead. But I always in my freezer that are there ready for emergencies, and also so that I can come home and just relax after work and not have to stress about, 1, thinking of what to cook, and number 2, doing the actual cooking as well. And as I said, the kids do like to see what's happening during the week, and they can anticipate it, hopefully happily anticipate it. Maybe don't write vegetables on there. That tends to put my kids off. So I will write a grocery list as well, and I'll go grocery shopping on the weekend too. And it's really good if you can go grocery shopping once. I know this is really hard, but if you go grocery shopping once with a list, a strict list, you're going to spend less money. It's going to take you less time than going out 4 or 5 times a week. And everything is going to be sitting in there in your pantry ready for you to cook. You won't have to go out, oh, I forgot this, I forgot that. It's all in there ready. And whenever you cook, if you're cooking something like a casserole, like a pasta sauce, a curry, something like that, they're really good ones to cook in bulk or make so that you can freeze. Make double quantities. Put an extra one in the freezer so that it doesn't take double the effort. It takes a fraction extra effort, but you've got another meal there ready to go. Moving out of the kitchen, plan your outfit the night before. This is something that also really bugs me if I don't know what I'm wearing. If I haven't done this, I will lie in bed in the morning thinking, what have I got on today? Have I got a meeting? Maybe I'll need to, what's the weather? Is it going to be hot? Is it going to be cold? Did I iron that top? Maybe that's in the wash. All these things start running through my head, stressing me out before I even get out of bed. Instead of this, before you go to bed, have a little think about what's on the next day, what sort of weather it's going to be, what your plans are, and then just either get everything out of the closet or the wardrobe, and lay it out ready to wear the next day, or just have in your mind what you're going to wear so that when you get up, you have a shower, you can go into the wardrobe and grab it and not have to think about what you're going to wear. It'll make things so much easier in the morning. Another great tip that I've heard, which I have incorporated into my life brilliantly, is the list of 6. Now, I don't know if other people have heard of this, any of the others people on the call tonight, but this is a list. Women, as you know, have long lists, have lots of things to do. They multitask. I know I'm guilty of this myself. And you will find that you might have a list of 20 or 30 things that you need to do in a day. And when you look at that list, it's really daunting. It's overwhelming. You don't know where to start. And at the end of the day, there are still probably 2/3 of the things on there that haven't been done. And it can be really demoralizing to think, what did I actually achieve today? So instead of this, I mean, fair enough, write your big long list of 30 things, but out of those 30 things, pick out 6 things. 6 things that are to be done no matter what. This is your list of things that have to be done, your priority list. And you plan to do those things. Once you've done those 6 things, then you can move on to the other things in your list. If you don't do those 6 things, you put them, maybe put 1 or 2 onto the next day. But this is much less daunting. And this way you make sure that you get the things done that are really important, that have to be done no matter what, rather than doing all the little tiny things that would be okay if you got them done, but really doesn't matter when they get done. Moving on to number 5, step number 5, which is to learn how to say no. As I said, kids are very good at this. You have to become good at it yourself. So you need to be choosy. A lot of women, a lot of busy mums are going to be very agreeable. They're going to be wanting to help. They're going to be wanting to help out at school. They're going to be wanting to help out the other mums. They're going to be wanting to do the fundraising. They're going to be wanting to go out with all the girlfriends that are asking them out. All the different things that come into your life, all the different offers and questions and requests that come into your life. There are so many of them. You can't say yes to everything. Even though you would like to, you need to hold back and be very choosy about what you say yes to. So before you answer, if someone's asking you something, you need to pause. Don't do the automatic, sure, I can help. Sure, yep, don't worry. I'll add it into the 20 other things I have to do today. So what you should do is to think about how saying yes is going to impact your time and your life. Is it going to be moving you further towards your goals and what you want out of life and where you are going maybe in that day or that week? Or is it going to be taking time out from the things you really want to be prioritizing and spending your time on? Ask yourself the question, do you really want to say yes? When this opportunity presents itself to you, what is your immediate reaction? Is it, oh, fantastic, I would love to do that. Oh, that is brilliant. Yes, 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 yes. Or instead, do you cringe and say, oh, that doesn't appeal to me. I really don't want to do that. It's going to be too much effort. I hate doing that. So will doing this bring you closer to your goals? If the answer is yes, and if you have a really positive vibe when the question comes up, then say yes, do it. But if it doesn't, if it's going to take you away from your goals, if it's going to take time out, if it's going to take your energy, if it's going to make you feel stressed, then say no. And it's okay to say no, believe me. So I've gone through the 5 steps that can help you save time. So let's just go into now how we really can help you reclaim 10 hours per week. So these are the little tips and tricks that will go into a little bit more detail about how you can save some time. Now, many women are really keen on social media. I know for myself, Facebook, is definitely an attraction. So you have to limit yourself, because you could be on there for hours. If you let yourself go, you could be on there all day. And a lot of women, a lot of people, a lot of children, teenagers particularly, like my 15-year-old daughter, you'll be on there every 5 minutes. And you will be shocked at how much time you are wasting on there, jumping from this to that to this post and posting and following this one, and all of a sudden there's 15 minutes gone, there's an hour gone, wasted. So instead, make the decision to use your social media only twice a day, or once even, morning and night, maybe 15 minutes at a time. And this will save you at least 30 minutes a day by being back and forth jumping from bit to bit every hour, every half hour, every couple of hours. So that can save you about 3.5 hours per week. Next tip is to prepare maybe 3 dinners on the weekend, as I said, by cooking things in bulk, by cooking them simultaneously. It can save you 30 minutes 3 times a week, because you will have spent much less time on the weekend creating those 3 dinners than you would be each night starting from scratch when you get home from work. So that'll save you around about 1.5 hours a week. Cluster your admin tasks together into a 2-hour block each week. This can save you probably 15 minutes a day, at least 3 times a week, by getting into the zone and being focused for that time. So at least I would say 45 minutes per week you'll be saving there. Create a menu planner. Only shop once a week with a shopping list based on the menu planner. And this will save you 30 minutes 3 times a week. As I said, thinking of what to cook and making those little trips to the grocery store. It'll save you 1.5 hours, I would say, at least. This is an obvious one, and I'm sure that you knew that this was going to come in there somewhere. Cut out an hour of TV each day. 1 hour a day is not that much to miss out on. I mean, I'm not telling you to give up TV altogether, but if you take an hour out of your day, out of your TV viewing, you can save yourself 7 hours a week, and that's a lot of time. Another pretty obvious one is the getting up early one. If you aim to get up 30 minutes earlier than you normally would each day, you've got an extra 3.5 hours a week. What can you do with that time? You might find that you just get up and you want to have that time, that quiet time by yourself, reading a book, maybe being creative, maybe writing in a journal, maybe doing something for yourself. Maybe it's working out, doing a workout, a gym workout. Maybe it's going for a walk and enjoying nature. Maybe it's doing something with your child, connecting together and having that time that you wouldn't have later on in the day. Whatever it is, it's worthwhile. Create a list of tasks the night before. So instead of waiting until you get up in the morning and thinking, right, what am I doing today? I'll do this, I'll do the washing, I'll sit down and do some work on the computer. Oh, and I have to do that at school. If you create a list of tasks the night before, you're going to save 15 minutes at least each day by fluffing around before starting your day. So if we count that as a work day, you're looking at about 1.25 hours per week. So in fact, instead of saving you 10 hours a week, I've nearly doubled that and saved you 19 hours a week. So you can see that these are all just little simple things that you need to do that once you add them together. So let's just recap our steps. So step number 1 was to set your goals and prioritize. Step number 2 was to create a schedule and use a diary. Step number 3 is to cluster your tasks together and use time blocks for different types of tasks. Step number 4 is to pre-prepare. Sorry, I have trouble with this one. Pre-prepare your meals, your menu planning, working out what you're going to wear, making your lunch the night before. That's another big one that I do. I tend to make my lunch when I go out. If I'm working, I will make a lot of something and then just divide it into individual servings, something like rice and vegetables, and put it in the freezer. So just grab it in the morning. And number 5, learn how to say no. That word that us mothers have a lot of trouble with. So I hope that you've enjoyed the valuable information today. I hope you've really got a lot out of this webinar. I hope you took some notes. And I hope I did give you some really good tips to help you save time in your life. So when you leave this webinar, you've got a lot of information from me. But if you haven't done it before, it may feel like it's a little bit overwhelming. So what can you do about it? So what I would like to offer you, all of you young, lovely ladies on the webinar tonight, is a complimentary 30-minute chaos to control strategy session with me. So this is where we can speak on the phone and we can talk about the frustrations that you are having, the problems that you're having in your life, why you are so stressed, why you are disorganized, what is holding you back from getting control of how you would like your life to be. And we can go through that and find some strategies to help you overcome those problems. So I would love to do this in the next few days with as many of you who would like to take me up on this offer. So if you would like to go to this Time Trade link, then you can book a session with me, or you can simply just email me at paulinedell65@bigpond.com. So let me just see if I can pop that up. There we go. So I'll just pop that up in the chat box there if you would like to take that down. And as I said, feel free to book a time with me. I would love to chat with you over the next few days. Or any questions that you have about what we've talked about tonight, please email me at paulinedell65@bigpond.com. And I have really enjoyed speaking with you all tonight. I hope, as I said, that you've got a lot out of this webinar. Questions, as I said, let me know if you've got any, and I will put the replay up very soon. And feel free to go through it again, and you can have another look and take down some more notes if you would like. So good night. It's been great to be here, and I will see you next time, ladies. Good night. Thank you.